Hello, everyone. Welcome to another great session of IndieX 2021. Personally, this is my first session and the only for the day, and it's a great honor to be showcasing this game, Haiku the Robot, from Mr. Morris Games, and I believe we actually have the actual Mr. Morris with us. Mr. Jordan Morris, how are you?
Hiya. Yeah, I'm good, thanks. The studio name isn't very creative, I admit.
At the same time, it opens all kinds of conversation because you just show your business card and people immediately remember you.
Well, actually, if I'm truly honest, I made the studio name because I was hoping that my partner would get involved with game development as well.
Okay.
So I was secretly hoping that we could change the studio name to Mr. and Mrs. Morris Games. That would have been like the
Okay.
ultimate dream.
And are you
But
developing the game?
unfortunately,
Are you developing by yourself?
yeah, unfortunately, she doesn't like game development at all. So now it's just me.
This is what I love about one of the things I love about doing this streaming and knowing the developers in person when we have the physical physical event is knowing this kind of little aspects and coincidences about both the development or why the studio is called Mr. Morris. I
Yep.
actually was already envisioning your marketing plan with like leveling up, like a GIF with Mr. Morris is now called Mr. and Mrs. Morris Games.
I mean, it would have been like the ultimate like PR push as well,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like,
yeah. It would be
but it is what it is. I still love her, so it's all good. I forgive her.
okay. So let's dive into Haiku the Robot, a great game by Mr. Morris Games. Being developed by a one-man show, John and Morris. How long have you been developing Haiku?
So it's coming up to a year of full-time development, which is kind of nice. But prior to that, I think about another year. It's kind of hard to tell because it didn't start off as like a big project. It was just kind of a learning thing. And yeah, unfortunately, it kind of ballooned out of control a little bit.
Sorry,
And here we are 2 years later.
my controller wasn't working, so I just restarted the build. I'm sorry. I was testing it before, but let me check if okay, here we are.
Oh,
So there are
those
some.
aren't good words.
Those
It's
are
not a good way to start the game. The
ah
controller doesn't work. You're
could be
putting
worse.
pressure on me.
Nah, it happens. Have you been checking GTA Trilogy reception? Um, I believe they have tiny bit more budget than you, and they are getting lots of bugs. And I just turned on the game again, and it's working. So don't worry if Rockstar can
Okay.
be able to to do this. And this is a work in progress. So this is the game is in early access already.
Um,
Like
for specific people, I guess. So I ran a Kickstarter campaign. Yeah, I think it ended about a year ago now, around this time. And or was it in October? Okay, it ended in October. And I've been using those funds at the moment to develop it full time.
there are
Oh
some
yeah, and some of the backers have like exclusive early access sort of thing. So
okay, okay.
they help with testing the game and just refining it.
In this moment, how far is the development of Haiku? Do you have still a big roadmap?
Um, so literally this week, I finished the critical path of the game. So it's more or less, you could kind of say that you can play it from the beginning to the end. So that's a huge milestone for me personally and for the game as well. But when it comes to what's like how much development is left, then I feel like a lot. Like I just kind of want to get it at a state where I'm just happy with the entire flow of things. Like a lot of the areas still feel a bit empty or a bit like underwhelming. So I just really want to kind of go through the entire game with like a fine comb and just make sure that everything's, nicely polished and it all comes together as like a whole experience.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of difficult to give you like specific numbers or percentages, but it is probably the most asked question that I get.
Yeah. Did you feel that with the Kickstarter campaign that the success of great games like Hollow Knight, because it's obviously one of the big names that people compare Haiku the robot with, which is a compliment in my perspective.
Yeah, and it's entirely true. Like
Do you
the
feel
game
it
is
helped the
inspired by
actual
Hollow Knight.
campaign and to the word of mouth to spread the campaign in the game?
I think so. I think so, and I also believe that it's kind of almost important for a small developer such as myself who's making their first game. It's kind of like you shouldn't stray too far outside of what's already been done in a sense, because like you can come up with a crazy idea, but if nobody can relate that game idea to like something that they already know, then it's a bit more difficult. Whereas if you're already a big publisher or a big developer and you come up with a new crazy idea, then you already have this backlog of games behind you
Yeah.
that people enjoy, and people will have more confidence in that idea. So for me, I see it as like almost not, yeah, it's almost like a necessity just to kind of make sure you don't do something too out of the ordinary. It needs to still be relatable to what people know. And yeah, I think people waiting for Silk Song definitely helps with the promotion of my own game.
Yeah. And what's your background? Did you start as an artist, as a programmer?
So up until about 2 years ago, maybe 2.5 years ago now, she hadn't coded before in my life. I studied architecture, so I like to think that that's where my kind of art background comes from. But most of the stuff that you see, I've basically learned over the last 2.5 years.
Whoa. And are you working on Unity?
Yeah, Unity. I picked it just because it was the most documented like game engine out there. So if I knew I was gonna come run into problems, like I don't know how to do everything and stuff like that. So I just thought I best go with something that has a lot of documentation around it.
Yeah.
So whenever I get stuck, I can easily consult with tutorials or forums online, etc.
The actual community is really helpful, isn't it?
Yeah, as well. Yeah. I mean, you can just go on Twitter and ask a question, and you'll get tons of replies of people just trying to help you out, which is great.
And regarding pixel art, were you already experimenting with it, or Haiku actually made you dive into this art style?
I don't know. I felt like I've always enjoyed pixel art games. Like I know like people don't like pixel art. Some like a lot of people don't. Well, I don't know if a lot, but some people don't like pixel art, and they get kind of put off by it. But I think my favorite games that I've ever played in my life were Game Boy games, like when I was a little kid. So I think that's where my love for pixel art comes from. And I actually enjoy doing the pixel art itself. So it's pretty good.
Are you working with Sprite?
Yeah, Sprite is the number one tool.
Yeah, last year I decided I teach illustration at Fine
Hmm.
Arts Society here.
I don't know if it's a bit hard to.
Yeah,
The stream was like a bit lagging, so it was a bit
yeah, I didn't notice
it's
that.
difficult to see.
Yeah, I didn't notice that because I didn't get an information. Yeah, hello everyone, we're back. I just had a small a technical issue. Apparently, I was having some lag on the streaming, and that's what I was just telling Jordan. Jordan, then again, I'm sorry for this for happening. Would just diving in. I'm in this moment. I think you have a small delay, but I'm on the first heal and save point. So
Okay, cool.
yeah, and I was kind of lost because this is the difficulty of playing playing almost any genre while speaking with someone is you're almost in automatic.
Okay, you have the key, so you can't really go many places. That's fine.
Oh, I just discovered the secret. I just destroyed a small wall in this tower, and I got more coins, which is great. So is this laggy now? I don't know if this is laggy because I was having issues. Okay, it's okay.
Yeah, it looks okay. I put it down to like minimum resolution anyway, just in case it affects any audio issues on my side. But it looks fine.
So I was checking. I'm there, and I know I have this. I don't have the map access on this side.
Yeah, through playtesting, I haven't actually updated it in the demo yet, but through playtesting, I discovered that the map is a tiny bit too restricted. So I just need to kind of just open it up a little bit more for players. But you seem to have found where you're going.
Yeah. We just have Shiryu, our friend. Do I want me to say our friend from Nintendo Life? Do you want me to call you anything else? Is asking any console versions in the near future?
So the Kickstarter managed to secure funding for the
Switch?
Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
So I have the development kits and everything for the Nintendo Switch already, and I periodically test it on the Nintendo Switch. I don't test it all the time, but like every now and then I boot it up. And like, this is me trying to not be big-headed, but it looks amazing on a Nintendo Switch. I'm so happy that that I'll be bringing it to the Nintendo Switch, simply because, you know, back to what we were talking about earlier, like my favorite console, or the one that I have the most memories with, is definitely like a Game Boy Color, like playing Pokemon and all these types of games when I was little. So to see it on a Nintendo console is just like, yeah, it's the ultimate.
I believe you're still a Pokemon fan.
I am. I haven't played many of the new ones, unfortunately. But, you know, as soon as they remake these old ones, then I'm buying those.
I'm just, I just passed that passion along to my kids. I actually have the entire Pokédex at least 3 times in my Pokébank, and I started collecting before. Well, I started collecting the second batch when my firstborn was born 8 years ago. And then I thought, I think we might have a second kid, so let me get the third batch collection of Pokemon, and
so it's a batch for everybody.
Yeah. Only my wife doesn't like Pokemon. She's looking at me in this moment. She's not a Pokemon fan.
Yeah, unfortunately mine isn't a Pokemon fan either. Although she did like Pokemon Go, but I think it was mainly because it got me out the house, because she wanted to get out the house. But yeah. I don't know. I usually play the ones that they remake. Like this Let's Go Pikachu is the most recent one that I bought, and even though that's like what 2 years old at least.
Yeah.
So
do you have time to play and buy this? First boss fight. This Pearl and Diamond, new Pearl and Diamond, going to get released on next. I'm so distracted.
Yeah, this is going to be hard to talk at the same time.
The new Pearl and Diamond remake, which will come out next Friday. Here I am making some publicity for Nintendo. So
yeah, we've shifted from Haiku the Robot to Pokemon now. That's it.
No, they
I think Go on, sorry.
No, no, no. I was just making a joke. Please go ahead.
I think the last game I played, which is like from the older, yeah, I think Diamond and Pearl were the last ones that I played from that kind of older generation. After that, I think I stopped playing. After I didn't play Black and White, and I didn't play was it Sun and Moon, Sword and Shield. I haven't played any of those. So I might get Diamond and Pearl just because I played it when I was younger. It was like the last one that I played.
Wrong side.
But yeah, I'll
current
just keep
roadmap?
talking.
What's the
I'll
current
just
roadmap?
keep.
Yeah, yeah. Please, please.
The current roadmap for the game, I assume, is. So as I mentioned before, like the map is pretty much done. Obviously, there's still room to add more like bits and pieces here and there where I see fit. Especially when it comes to like characters and different rooms that help to explain the world a little bit more and the story. So all of that sort of stuff needs to be done still. The dialogue is something that I've been working on today. Can't wait to actually get into a room with one of my good friends who is a copywriter, and she loves writing this type of stuff. So it's going to be good. Just lock ourselves away and work on this stuff for a few days and get it all nailed down, because I feel like that's really adds juice to the game. And then it's just adding more content, like more bosses I want to add. I have a few ideas for a few more enemies that I want to squeeze in. And platforming stuff, I guess.
Are you going to input some Metroidvania layer?
And what we're I don't fully understand what you mean by
Like,
that.
are we going to have some areas that are reachable until you get a specific ability or equipment or something like this?
Yeah, for sure. Like, I've got some pretty amazing graphs of all of this stuff and like maps, and they look so cool, and I really want to share them and show people, but I can't because it's just like massive spoilers. And obviously it just kind of shows you the whole route, or the multiple routes that there are in the game, which is really cool. So one thing that I've tried to do is keep it quite hand-holding at the beginning, and then at a certain point it just completely lets go, and you can almost do anything in whatever order you want.
Okay.
Almost. So at some point there's basically like you can go three ways, and all three ways are like good, and then that will lead to another like two ways, and both ways are good. So hopefully it should be like a very organic sort of experience where you just explore wherever you go. It's gonna be like a good way to go, but it still leaves like room for flexibility that maybe you decide to go this path, but if you talk about it with a friend or another player, then they went a completely different path. So I think it just adds to the personal experience that it gives a player, versus like it being very linear and there's only one specific way that you have to go. And if you miss that specific path, then you don't really know where to progress forward, and you get lost and perhaps even a bit frustrated.
Are you going to run the extra mile and, for example, those different paths to access different enemies that we wouldn't meet otherwise?
Yeah, I hope to add like quite a bit of optional content that's not really necessary, but I think it just having that sort of stuff there just makes the world feel a bit more complete. Oh, I'm seeing the delay on the boss fight.
No! I just dodged the wrong way. Oh god. This is so fun. This is especially fun to for whoever is watching me do this kind of reaction to my own failure. Hello, Session.
Yeah, so
Welcome.
I think the best tactic for this is just to be patient and to slide when
Yeah,
he's
don't
coming towards
overextend
you.
my
Yeah.
base. Yeah, yeah.
Like this boss and most of the enemies are actually kind of trying to teach you that you just need to be patient. Like them bouncy tire ones can kind of hit you just if you try to run too fast through the game, you know, like they just bounce backwards and they
Yeah, yeah.
probably smash into your face.
Is it better now? Because since nobody told me since Tuesday that was happening, I never changed it. I hope it's better now. People are just giving me some settings input, which are difficult to understand otherwise.
Maybe I just talk too loud.
No, 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 no. It's it. No, why am I doing this? I'm going to kill myself because I already got 3 hits that I shouldn't be getting. So let's start again
Yeah,
this boss fight.
it
And I'm
seems
going
to
to.
be it looks like you're dashing the wrong way, but
I am. I am.
I don't think it's a input
No, it's
issue
not. It's not. It's the user. It's the user's fault, not the inputs.
because I know that at the moment there's an input issue for attacking downwards. It seems to be fine on controller, but on keyboard it is very cumbersome. So, but I think the dash should be quite.
No, the dash is working. I know what I did. Like I tried to change my way and then decided to dodge the way I was looking.
It's all good. You got this.
Yeah, I just need to concentrate.
Yeah. If boss fights take this long, then we're gonna be looking at a long game. But it's so strange for me because I program the bosses. I know exactly what each move does. I know exactly how it's designed to encounter it. So for me, it's just every time I play a boss, I don't know.
You're looking at the Matrix.
I'm looking at the metrics. Did you say?
The Matrix. You're Neo. You're looking at the
Oh,
Matrix.
right. Yeah, basically, right. So, like for me, I don't get this sense of how difficult something is like too greatly. But it's really good to watch people play like yourself and see how long they take to do it.
And it's done. I just need to concentrate a bit. Hello,
Yeah.
Sebekis.
Yeah, and like you said, man, it's so hard to do this while
We had someone in our chat with a cool nickname, which is a pun in Portuguese that was saying the game has a great aesthetics, and it has. The game looks gorgeous. It really has a good taste in terms of color palette. So, and pixel art is spot on.
thanks. This is great to hear. Like I look at the game every day, so I
Yeah,
start to get numb by these sort of things. Like I don't.
you can't
Sometimes I look at
evaluate
it.
that. You
Yeah,
can't evaluate.
sometimes I look at it and I just think maybe the backgrounds need more detail. I don't know.
I personally I don't think so, because you would create some visual noise that would
Yeah,
distract you from what's happening on the foreground. I think it's
yeah,
pretty balanced.
and I quite like that it looks a bit different to like games, like other pixel games. Like most pixel art games nowadays, I feel like they're super like
Detailed.
high resolution
Yeah.
and like Blasphemous is an amazing game, but the pixel art when I look at it, I just think, oh my God, how long must have that taken? You know? Because it's just so detailed and yeah, I feel like most games nowadays try to overcompensate for the fact of like maybe being too simple and try to just cram like a lot of detail in, where I'm trying to be mindful that my backgrounds are simple, but I shouldn't just unnecessarily cram detail into the backgrounds. Add a little bit, but not like a lot.
But if you recall, we know that that was a technical limitation. You were referring to Game Boy, the Game Boy generation,
Yeah,
how the
yeah,
games
yeah.
were developed, and you had this. I think it's kind of it was an intelligent art decision. If you pay
I
attention to some of the games that you played, and possibly I played too, on Game Boy, they were really smart on how they did
hmm
the backgrounds. Even if they
hmm
had like a suggestion of 2 layers of background or 3 layers of
hmm
background, they were always really smart on how to do that. Because
Yeah.
you had
So
a screen like this, you couldn't make too much visual noise.
yeah. We'll get out of this area just to help you move along because obviously talking with me is a bit complicated. But if you go back to the room with all the platforms which go up,
Let me look at
where
the
all the
map.
little
Where do you want
birds.
me to? Ah, the map isn't available here because I haven't discovered it.
Yeah, I think you accidentally walked past it.
So
But
I'm going back.
yeah,
And
and
we'll
then
have a
up.
and then up. Okay. Oh, where the
Oh,
bird-like robots are.
yeah, they're
I
meant to
went
be
up.
like
Yeah, yeah.
they're meant to be little garbage magnets. But
And I just
I
fell.
yeah, this room's a little annoying with the falling. But somebody in the chat asked, is it inspired by Hollow Knight? Pretty much. We went over it before. Like it is a Metroidvania. And there are quite a few inspirations taken from Hollow Knight. You want to go up as well into that top
Okay.
left? No, top right, sorry.
Okay. And someone was referring Gato Roboto, which is actually a great Metroidvania with the 2-bit
Yeah,
aesthetic with just black and white.
yeah, with the little color palette changes that you can
Yeah, yeah,
unlock.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You can play with. Oh, so I should go. I'm back here.
Yeah, so you want to try and get up as much as possible.
Okay, to the left or to the right?
To the right. I always have to check my lefts and rights.
So I just saved again. No, I think it can't be to the right because that's the path I came from, the boss. I'm in the save
Yep.
point. Now I
Yeah, yeah,
should.
just keep going right.
Right. Okay. Oh, because I just unlocked my magnet capacity. Okay.
hmm
Okay. Okay. Yeah. 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 So there is this dump, and I
You
should
should.
go as up as possible. I
There
think
you
it's here.
go.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I mean, usually if you have time to kind of explore through the world and stuff, then you can do it. But
Wait, I'm back to the starting point. I just got
yeah,
to.
you gotta go the other way.
Really? I'm. And now, where should I go?
You gotta keep going right, so up and right.
Oh, open right. Okay. Where it all began. Okay, Seixas is asking favorite Hollow Knight boss because he's constantly telling me why haven't I played Hollow Knight until the end, and he's like trying to evangelize us with Hollow Knight, which is a good good game, but and he's asking you what's your favorite Hollow Knight boss?
I think my favorite is the what are they called? Is it? I know it's something sisters, but basically the Mantis Lords. Those are that is such a good fight, simply because it feels difficult. With I don't know if you've played it as well, but it basically teaches you like all the moves with one, and then it tries to challenge you where two bosses are doing the same moves at you, and it's like super. It's such a good fight, and it's such a good feeling to like overcome that because you learn all the moves, and then you get tested again on that move set that you just learned from the boss. So really, really cool.
My problem with Hollow Knight is a really simple thing, which is when you die, you drop, I can't remember what, you drop something, and you have to return to your corpse to pick everything up. And I'm not a huge fan of that idea.
Well, something similar happens in Haiku until you unlock a bird whistle, which seems you have skipped completely, but
I did,
you can
really.
yeah, it doesn't matter. Like there's plenty of opportunities later on in the game where you can buy it. Um, but basically the bird whistle acts as a banking system, so
Oh,
you'll be able to store all of your cash with these safe birds for safekeeping, and they'll be accessible when you go purchase from vendors and stuff like that. And I don't know if you picked up the wrench at the very beginning, but you can heal as well.
yeah, pressing RB. Yeah, 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 yeah.
And it also uses up the spare parts that you collect
Yeah.
from other robots.
Oh,
So your currency basically is like your heal and also what
that's
you use to buy from vendors.
that's a cool idea.
But again, like I didn't like this dropping all your money and then going back to find it or going back to your body to get it and stuff like this. Um, but I still wanted there to be like some sort of punishment in dying. So you drop half of the money that you're carrying, but um, you can store all of it into a bank for safekeeping. So you can just basically access it whenever you want.
Oh, Sir Beckers is asking, is there lore? I don't think there is. It is now, but isn't completely finished, is it, Jordan?
Not completely. Actually, today I was just rewriting the whole storyline for the game. So this means, like backstory, the main quest line, the secondary quest line, other characters' quest lines. Um, yeah, just really going over it, all of it, making sure that everything kind of makes sense and nothing's out of place, that it's all coherent with each other. So there's lore. There's lore. No need to worry about that. But yeah, you've skipped a lot of the you've skipped the shop,
Oh,
the the map disruptors as well, which basically reveal those parts of the map that you're struggling with.
yeah.
Uh,
Because
but it's all
now
good.
I just returned to this screen.
Yeah, I think from here you just got to keep going right. But this is all good feedback because some people might actually play like this in the final game, so I might just move some things around a little bit.
Players
Make
will always get some ways of breaking your game and surprising you.
Yeah, so I think you got to go down now because you've already collected this.
Yeah.
So you got to go down and to the right.
Something nice. You have all the classic mechanics from old Nintendo consoles games, like hanging to the wall, and
Yeah, well,
yeah,
Mega Man seems to be
it's like a best of.
cool inspiration for that. Yeah, actually, this entire room I've completely redone recently, so
Don't
it's
forget,
just
you can, if someone has the Steam URL at hand that could paste on our chat, I would appreciate. Don't forget to wishlist it to get more information about Haiku the robot. Okay.
yeah, and if you wishlist, then you'll also get a nice email once the game's released from Steam.
Yeah, true. So I think this was deserved, since I spent like 1 or 2 minutes from the stream promoting Nintendo freely.
And Pokemon.
And Pokemon. I think it's only fair to do the same. Oh, I just... Okay, you will laugh at this. Um, I literally felt like a moth to the flame. Like you're gonna watch in a few seconds, I believe.
Yeah,
I
moth
just
to a
thought,
lamp.
yeah, a good pillar of light. Let's put my face there and die.
Yeah, I think you also skipped the health station. So if you die now, you're gonna
Yeah, I'm
have
gonna
a
have to walk.
fancy track all the way back. So
I
try
just
not to
played
die.
Metroid Dread, so I'm not. I'm kind of. Hey, what's this? Some sort of
I'm
mechanical bird perch. Okay. Oh yeah, save point. Haha.
yeah. So these are the bank system. So like in theory, you should be able. Well, not in theory, but in practice, you should be able to store all your money there, and you won't have to worry so much about losing a lot of it when you die.
Where are you saying can store in the bird perch?
Yeah, but you need to purchase an item
That I don't have.
specifically before that.
Yeah. Such as
And
is.
it's actually good that we've done this stream because now I know I need to make that little shop a tiny bit more prominent.
Okay. Seixas is just saying that he knows he can't go wrong with someone that knows the best boss in Hollow Knight, so he is sold about buying Haiku Knight. Weren't you sold when you just looked at the game? I think it was an easy sell.
Yeah,
Oh,
so the beginning of the game is a lot more linear than like the kind of middle and late sections of the game. So, I mean, that's only just to help push the player along a little bit so they don't get too lost too early and they can get familiar with the world and how the systems work. Um, but yeah. But somebody asked, have I done the 112% completion of Hollow Knight? I haven't, but I'm sitting at like 102% completion or something. I feel like I don't really have time to play many games at the moment. I'm just trying to finish this game.
and come on, guys, we're looking at a great game, and you're just talking about another game. Be polite, okay? So I just noticed the time. We have to wrap it up, but I'm so focused on playing Haiku the robot. Luckily, I still have access to the the rest of the build.
Yeah, I think this is the same key that gets distributed with the Kickstarter backers.
Yeah,
So if you see an update at any point, then feel free to just download it and play it. I don't
yeah.
really mind.
I will keep it installed so Steam gets the auto updates.
Yeah.
How long can the game be? Is asking Sir Becca's in our chat, like 20 hours, 10 hours, 50 hours? Please answer me.
It's kind of really hard to tell. I feel like it depends so much on just how you play. Like, if you're the type of person that wants to explore every single nook and cranny in the game, then it's going to take obviously longer. And I don't mean just like you finish the game and then you go and explore everything. I mean, like, as you're exploring, you're like, okay, remember that room on the left because I want to come back here as soon as I've explored this other room on the right, you know? So, like, as you progress and you like really want to check out every nook and cranny that the game has to offer. But and then there are other players that are just super good at like platformers and they just breeze through all of the bosses like first time and I'm just like, what the hell? Like how the hell how can you be so good that you just yeah, crazy. So I think it's quite hard to say, but I would love it to be like 10 hours. For the size of my team and stuff like that, I think a 10-hour game is pretty good.
Are you going to insert some kind of teleport system in Haiku?
Yes, there
Okay.
is. Yeah,
That's good for
it's
completionists. That's good for completionists, isn't it?
yeah, it's cool. It's cool teleport system. It's not just a teleport system. It's better. It's better than that.
Hmm. Nice teaser.
Honestly, like as soon as I had this idea and I shared it with some fans and some of the backers, everybody was just like, "Oh my God, that's so cool and that's amazing." So yeah, I'm happy with it.
Jordan, we have to thank you twice. The first thank you is for submitting Haiku the robot to IndieX. It's really a pleasure having it as one of our 50 finalists. We're really happy getting it here and showcasing the game. And of course, the second thank you is directly to you for being with us this hour. And I need to also apologize for technical issues. In show business, they say it's live TV, so this happens. I will try to abide by this mantra. And uh,
Oh, thank you for having me. Like I mentioned before, just looking at the 50 finalists, like I was looking at that and I was just thinking, how the hell has my game made it to this list?
we
Considering that all of the other games look so good. So actually, like the pleasure's mine, and I want to thank you for accepting me.
it's more than deserved, and I think you're gonna take this take home message from Sir Becca's in our chat, which is, and I quote, I'm quoting, okay, not just because of the other finalists are watching, and it's I'm quoting Sir Becca's in our chat. He's saying, not to disrespect the other games, but this one got me crazy hyped. Not gonna lie.
Oh,
So
thank you.
congratulations. Thank you for being with us. I think we will return in 1 minute. João Correia is going to return with the only VR game that got into our 50 finalists at IndieX. So please stay tuned, and we'll return in 1 minute. So thank you again, Jordan. Thanks,
Thank
everyone,
you.
and see you later.